like I'm pretending I have a lot of time. Hello, everyone. I'm very glad to be here, and I'm very excited to be here next year, I guess. Today, I'm going to talk about full stack development with Nuxt, because yes, we can. Not sure if I can use this sentence, though. I'm Sebastien Chopin, if you forgot Alex mentioning it like 2 minutes ago. I'm the author and core team at Nuxt and CEO at Nuxt Labs. You can find me on the social network with the username @Linux, well, on most of the social network. Let's talk about a traditional Nuxt application. And I'm pretending here you're using Nuxt Start, I mean the old Nuxt Start, with the Nuxt server running. So let's say I have a user with a fancy computer calling my URL. I will have my Nuxt server. Potentially, most of the time, we will call an external API. You may know some of the headless API, or you can also create your own API for your business and then return some JSON, XML if you want to. And then your Nuxt server will send back HTML, CSS, and JavaScript to the user. This is cool. This is great. It works very well. It's called the Jamstack. But it can have also some drawbacks. Let's say your service or your API is elsewhere on the world and your Nuxt server also. You can suffer from latency. On top of this, if you have multiple API calls, this can slow down the initial response. And you will have to pay for 2 services. I don't know if you know, we have Nuxt server routes. Can you raise your hand if you use some of them? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 27. We have the same directory structure as the pages directory. So inside your server directory, you create an API directory, and inside the hello.ts or hello.js file, and you will create the /API/hello route. Then same for a dynamic route, and the .get suffix will only work for HTTP GET request and prevent the other HTTP method. If you want to create, let's say, a dynamic sitemap, you can use the server route directory. Don't use it to render HTML. I will advise you to use the pages directory, but this is very useful for some specific case. And the middleware directory, this will be called for any request to any HTTP routes. And it's powered by the amazing Nitro that Puya created when he was working on Nuxt 3, and it has many features that I'm going to demonstrate. First, let's take a look at the route format. So you need to define an event handler. If you use the alias event handler, it's the same. You define a function that receives an event, which is an object. You can get the path of the current route, of the route, the params, if you have a dynamic route, the query parameters, and if it's a post or put request, you can use the read body to parse it. Then you can create an error. I need to drink. Special bottle that I will throw away on the public at the end of the video. And then you can return an object or a stream or whatever you want, and we will handle it. This is auto-imported, and it's based on H3. So H3 is an NGS package, which is an HTTP framework, a minimal HTTP framework, which is used by Nitro, which is used by Nuxt. Nuxt use Nitro, and Nitro use H3. So one of the great features we have is hot module replacement. This was not possible in Nuxt 2, because every time you change a server route, you had to restart your Nuxt server with the Webpack build. Some of you know how long it was. So now let's take a look. We have an API route. I'm changing the value. I refresh my API route, and it's instant. We can see on the logs that Nitro reloads instantly, and it doesn't depend on the Vite build for the Vue app. Same here, I'm creating an API route, and it's available without restarting the server. So thanks to this, we can start developing full-stack application. But on top of that, we created Nitro with performance in mind, which means that every server route or is code splitted. So here I have not the good one. I have my production application in debug mode. When I start hitting my API route, I can see that it loads the chunks hello. Same if I call it again, it's already loaded. And if I go to the landing page, which is my view app, it will load the other chunks. This is great for serverless and edge deployment, as it will spawn your Nuxt server, render, and kill it. We also have end-to-end TypeScript support, which feels like RPC. So here I want to fetch my API route. I use useFetch, and I get auto-completion of my current API route in my Nuxt server directory. When I select one, let's pretend I'm fetching the number 3. In my view template, I will also have auto-completion for the value returned from this API route. This is quite nice when you work with TypeScript and you like types. Something hard to explain are the function calls during SSR. Is there anyone that knows what this is? One. So, during server-side rendering of your view page, if you call useFetch or $fetch in your for Nuxt server route, we will emulate and call the exported function from your API route, saving HTTP round trip, so it won't make a true request, emulate the event object, and directly call the function. So this means that even if you have 10 API calls on your server route, when doing server-side rendering, it won't make HTTP request, it will directly call these functions. And it's the same in your server API route if you call other API route. Lastly, we have the Nuxt Dev Tools integration. If you like Postman or HTTP or any other UI, so you go to the server tabs in your Dev Tools, and you get automatically all your server API routes. I'm talking a lot about API routes, huh? And you can have the snippet here if you're lazy and you want to copy-paste your API request in your view component. So this is super cool to have API route, but this is quite useful when you have a storage. So we're missing a storage. Thanks to Puya, we have used database coming with Nitro and Nuxt, but I was too impatient. So what if in Nuxt you could have a database, a key value storage globally available, and a blob storage to store assets such as image, videos, etc. Well, I think time is up. I got something for you in 10 minutes. I created Nuxt Hub the last weeks with the help of Sylvain to build full-stack application on the edge. It has a SQLite database to store your application's data using the Hub database util, a key value storage, well, I already said before, a blob storage. I added also a feature that I really like, is the ability to connect to my production database or staging database, for if you like to be very good at separating stuff. But I will use my production database. And you can connect your SQLite, KV, and blob locally with a secure proxy. And obviously, it's free. You can self-host on your Cloudflare account. So far, we support Cloudflare, because that's the only provider I know which is free and gives you a database, a key value, and a blob. So let's have a quick demo about this. So I'm going to create a Amsterdam demo using npm nuxi init. Then let's open this directory. And let's see what I have. So I have a Nuxt config that extends this package, Nuxt Hub Core, And in my package.json, I have Nuxt Hub core module. And I have to use a Wrangler as dev dependency to have the binding for D1 and this Cloudflare primitive. So if I start my project in development, it tells me using local data from .data.hub, and we can see here the primitives. Let's go on localhost 3000, and I have some examples for you. But before that, I'm going to comment these two. We'll go step by step. And I will also deploy it in the background. I will select a team. I will create a new project. I'm doing it just before because the time for the DNS to propagate is a bit long, so potentially we won't have the demo available. So it built my application with the Cloudflare pages preset, and finger crossed it should deploy and give us a URL, but we will check this later. First, we have our image gallery component, and this should be quite simple. We have a form component, a form HTML element, sorry, with an input of type file and the name image. When I click on submit, it will prevent the original call to call this upload image function. Here I'm calling API image upload with a post request, and I'm creating a form data based on my form HTML element. Now let's go to the server API images upload.post. I'm getting my form data, the image, because it has the same name as here, and we created a util which is auto-imported, which ensure the image has 8 megabytes maximum, or I can say 16 if I want to, but we got auto-completion anyway. Let's stay at 8. And limit the types to PNG and JPEG. And then I'm calling blob.put. I also have a get that list, a delete, and a server route, which will be on /image / the path of the image that serve the image. Let's see if it works. This guy, that's Sylvain. I'm sure he's going to hate me for that. And well, I think you got the point. We have the image. It should work. Oh, God, honestly. First time I have this. The magic command. Oh, yes, I know. I have one bug with the blob in development when I have too many of them. And I didn't have it locally when I tried. So let's upload one image locally for now. So I have Daniel here. So we have other components that I want to show you. We have a redirects panel, and this one will use, it's a text area where I can say hello Amsterdam. When I saved, I can go to hello, and I'm redirected from the server to this page. For this, I'm automatically setting a redirects object, which has from, and the key is the from route, from path, and the value is the to path. And I have a server middleware that is checking if the current path match, I redirect. And lastly, I have a message panel where I can say hello, and it's saved. And if I refresh, I have it as well. Using my SQLite database, I'm making sure this will move into the Nitro server task, but for the purpose of this demo, I made it here. So I'm selecting my message, and I'm inserting my message in my SQLite database. Cool. So the idea of this is you can deploy by yourself on your Cloudflare account. Like you don't need to use the CLI. You connect your GitHub or GitLab project. You create the database on Cloudflare and you link it, and it should work automatically. But because I like this zero configuration, we created this command that will automatically deploy. So if I open this URL, of course, I forgot to uncomment. So let's redeploy. Ça va? So let's open our URL. So cool. I have my production project deployed on Cloudflare pages. Let's upload my image. This is working. And this is working with multiple images in production, this I'm sure. If I say AMS to Vuejs.Amsterdam, and I go to /AMS, it redirects me to Vuejs Amsterdam. And someone already added the, who are you? Oh, okay, I see what you guys are doing. I don't have WebSockets yet. It will happen, it will arrive soon. You have seen Puya's talk. And what if I want to connect locally to my remote data? So I use -- remote, and Nuxt Hub will automatically know that it wants to use these remote features. And no, that's the production project, thank you. And I will use this one and localhost, not Amsterdam. Oh God, someone added the. You know what? Okay. Let's fix that. So here I have my Nuxt Hub console where I linked my Cloudflare account. To link it, you can click on the Create a New Token, and you select your account. I can invite my team members. And here I have my project. Nice. Let's go on this one. God, I'm sure I couldn't trust you guys. Thank you. Nice message. I have my KV, and I can see my redirects. Huh. So let's fix that and go back to, let's open it this way. Okay, this is good. Please don't change it right now. And get this URL. Oh God, is it good? So I have my localhost. If I upload another image here, I should have it in production. Okay, you know what? Let's try if this works. So, airdrop directly to the. Let's see if this works. Waiting. Not sure if I can directly have it. I need to go on the. Oh, no, I have it. Okay. Receiving. It takes a time. So in the meantime, we can manage the environment variable, the domain. So this is a work in progress. And we have seen the blob. Okay, you guys are amazing. And I don't know if this is too big or not. Pretend. Okay, no, come on. No, it's okay, it's alive. I can upload it. So that's it for the console. Well, now I completely forgot what I need to do, and I'm late. Thank you, guys. So yes, I need to make the repository open source. So I'm going to go on GitHub, and I hope this will work directly. So settings, change to public. No, that's not my password. Huh? Oh, God. I don't have that many accounts. Huh? It's just for the demo. OK, so this should be public. And I think I also need to set the custom domain, which was not available for the documentation because it's shipped with the documentation, of course. Hopefully it will work. Up for 24 hours, so be patient. In the meantime, you can go on Nuxt hub-module.pages.dev. And so that's hub.nuxt.com, github.com. You have the URL. I do need, now I'm thinking I do need to remove the project because you guys are going to add too many things. So I can, oh, the image is not refreshed, so let's remove the project. And, oh, I'm sorry. But it will keep the image for a while, so I can look at them after. And back to the slide. So this is release. You can try and play with it today. Come say hi to our Nuxt Lab booth. We have 30% off for Vuejs Amsterdam on Nuxt UI Pro until Friday. We have free Nuxt beanies, even though it's not that cold, but who knows. And we have stickers, of course. Thank you very much.